Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am going to be doing the test of time tag. So I saw Jessica Braun, was it? I want to say it was Jessica Braun, do this tag. If I'm wrong, I will put it up on the screen below. I think it was she was inspired to do it by yet another YouTuber. I'm not positive. Whoever it was that inspired me to do this tag, I'll link their video down below, and if they were inspired to do it by another YouTuber, they probably linked their channel below, but I just remember I saw it from one of my YouTubers, and I really want to say it was Jessica Braun. So basically what this tag is I'm going back to my home roots, and I am telling you guys what still works for me from when I first started playing around with makeup. So I started playing around with makeup back in 2014, and I started my channel in 2015. So, yeah. So, there's a little history for you. So, some of these items I've already repurchased. Some of them are still the same product from back when I bought it back then. And I still love all of these. I'm wearing all of them today. Absolutely every single one, with the exception of one thing, because I actually panned it a couple weeks ago, but I still wanted to mention it. So let's just hop right in. Sorry, I'm a nerd. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to mention is actually a primer that I am wearing underneath my foundation today, and that is the Maybelline Master Prime by Face Studio Blur and Illuminate. This was one of my first favorite primers. Yeah, it wasn't the one I wore on my wedding day. Fun fact. I still need to do my recreation of my wedding day makeup for you guys. But I absolutely love this. I feel like it just sits on my skin nicely, and it makes whatever foundation or tinted moisturizer or BB cream or CC cream that I put on top look absolutely phenomenal. It's just this lotiony texture, and it blends really easily, and I just think it's absolutely wonderful. And it was only, I want to say $9.99. I want to say $9.99. So yeah, love that primer. Everything here, by the way, is from the drugstore, because when I first started out in makeup, I did not have the money to be going and purchasing all these high-end products. I was broke. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. So, now the first complexion product I ever used, I was actually really scared of using foundation for a hot minute. And when I did eventually go to foundation, the first one I used is actually discontinued. So it's the it's actually in the one in my project pan, the Revlon Photo Ready. They now have the Revlon Photo Ready airbrush effect, but that has glitter in it, and it's not. I don't want glitter on my face. Personal preference. So when I first started, I was using a BB cream because, you know, watching all these YouTube videos, it was saying, you know, if you're a beginner and you're scared of using foundation, a BB cream is the way to go. Now, a lot of people recommended, you know, the Maybelline one and the L'Oreal one. What was I saying? I tried the Maybelline one, and it was way too greasy for my face, and that's saying something considering I have dry skin. And the L'Oreal one was just way out of my price range, so I decided to, by the way, I didn't buy the Maybelline one. One of my friends had it, and I tried hers. So I ended up purchasing the Revlon Photo Ready BB Cream. Notice how Photo Ready. I think that's actually why I chose the Revlon Photo Ready foundation to be my first foundation, was because A, Brienne Barbie recommended it, and I love Brienne, but I was using the Photo Ready BB cream, and I already love this so much, so I figured maybe I would love the foundation. I absolutely love this. I am in the shade Light Pale. I am wearing it today mixed with my L'Oreal Lumi foundation just because it was a tad bit too dark for my skin tone right now. And the L'Oreal one actually kind of matches my skin tone right now, so I just mixed them to get the shade to where it needed to be. But the coverage of this is actually pretty decent for a BB cream. Like the coverage you see here, none of this is really from the L'Oreal. And I did put a little bit of the L'Oreal concealer that I'm trying out on over my zits just because I'm trying it out. This is not a test of time product. It's just something I'm trying out for you guys. But it's a little dark. Which may have also contributed to the fact that this was dark. I'm not sure. Because I never really had a problem with this being dark before. So unless I'm just wicked pale right now, which is a possibility. But I absolutely love this and highly recommend it. So the first concealer I ever bought, it was going around YouTube at the time, like no tomorrow. Hold on. I need to touch up my... We'll get to the lips in a little bit. But, sorry. Alright, so the first concealer I ever bought was actually one that was really, really popular on YouTube at the time. And that's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm currently project panning mine. I accidentally made the lines go away because I actually took out the stopper to get more product. So it is really goopy right now. It's not normally like this. It's just goopy on mine because I took out the stopper. But it has a nice doe foot applicator. Again, not normally this goopy. And I'm in the shade Fair. Don't be fooled by their color selection though, because they have 10 light and then 15 fair. 15 fair is actually lighter, so that's why I use 15 fair. I really like this. I think it's really nice, especially paired with BB creams or tinted moisturizers, because it is a nice light coverage. If you have dark circles and you still want to use this, I would highly recommend something like the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Color Corrector or the NYX Dark Circle Concealer, or even the Maybelline Master Cameo is okay, but I think it's better suited for a concealer that's not the Maybelline. I don't know. I would need to try. I've just been using the Maybelline one recently because, like I said, I have been trying to, it is in my project pan. But I do absolutely love this concealer. I think this is my third one, I want to say. It's either my second or third. I do have tons of concealers, so me going through a concealer is pretty difficult. But, yeah. Alright, so my favorite face powder. When I set my face, I like to use powder foundations over like a translucent setting powder. But I will use both. It's just my preference is the foundation, the powder foundation, because it adds a little bit more coverage. My absolute favorite is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin powder. I'll have a picture right here. I absolutely love this powder. I think it's great for people with dry skin because while it sets down your foundation or your BB cream or what have you, it doesn't make you look extremely dry. It doesn't make you look really cakey, and I absolutely love it. And once I go through some of my powders, because I have 9 powders. That's a lot of powders. One I'm currently trying to pan. I'm probably gonna repurchase it because I do love it. Like I said, it's the only powder I've been able to pan so far. For loose powder, I started using this powder in October of 2015. I purchased it when we went down to Florida. I was just in the makeup section while we were at Walmart, and I saw it, and I've been wanting to try it, and it was the only place I had found it so far at that point, so I picked it up, and it is the Coty Airspun powder. I absolutely love this powder. It is a great powder for baking your under eyes. Fair warning, it does have a smell. It kind of smells like grandma's makeup. But the second you put, like, once it's on your skin and you wait a minute or so, you don't smell it anymore. It's not a smell that lingers. So I do really like this, and I would highly recommend it. It's only like $5, and I want to say the concealer is like $7. I'll have everything linked down below that I can find. I don't think I'll be able to find this unless I go to the Walmart website. I could do that. But anyway, I want to say this is like $5, $6. It's really good. You get a lot of product. Like I use this a ton. There was a point where I was using it every day, and there's still like hardly a dent in it. Actually, even better, I'll show you the one I got from Florida. It's a little too dark for me. It's in the shade honey beige. I'm probably going to end up decluttering it, but you can see this is the one I was using every day, and there's still barely anything gone. So just so you know, I have so many loose powders now. Let's just stick that in there while we're playing with it. Now, what I like to do with my baking is I like going in with a separate powder to wipe away my bake. I find that if I don't use a separate powder to wipe it away, then it just leaves some really streaky brush marks, and I don't really like that. So this was actually a tip, once again, from Jessica Braun, also known as Jam Beauty 89. And I use the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana bronzer. Not really a bronzer, way too light, and that's coming from the Pale is a Pale. As you can see, I've used a ton of this. I really like this powder because it leaves my under eyes looking so bright and glowy, and I absolutely love that look. So I use this to wipe away my bake. I've been using it for years. I absolutely love it. This is still the same one, and I'm working on panning it. I'm actually adding it to my project pan. You'll see that in my update. So my contouring product that I have used since it came out, it was the first contouring product I purchased, and this is my second one. It's actually a lot of things are Wet n Wild, by the way, because it's what I could afford at the time. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Contouring Palette. This is in the shade Dolce de Leche. This is still their old color and formulation, so I don't know how the new one is. So, like I said, I'm wearing everything today. It's just a really nice natural shadow, and I think it works really well for my skin tone. And then I'll go in with this color over here. It's like almost kind of like a banana shade, but not quite. And I'll go under that to even brighten my under eyes even more. I do use an hydrating under eye primer, so I don't really worry about things kind of looking dry under there. I would just rather prefer to make it so my under eyes don't crease and looking nice and bright and making me look awake. Now, for bronzer. I've always had a problem with bronzers because I'm very, very fair. And even some of the fairest, what's the word I'm looking for? Even some of the fairest bronzers were a little too dark. But I think I'm starting to learn that it was more user error than the actual product itself, because I started using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Ticket to Brazil bronzer. This one's actually a bronzer again. And I just do a light dusting, and it looks actually pretty good. I have it on my forehead right now. In the wintertime, I try not to bronze too much, but I do put some on my forehead to kind of, because I do contour, so I don't like that there's like a shadow there and then like nothing up on my forehead. So I did use this today to just with my Morphe M527. It's technically a powder brush, but it's kind of a weird shape for a powder brush. So I actually like it to do some light bronzing. And I really like it. Another brush I like using is the Real Techniques, where is it? Retractable bronzer brush. I absolutely love this brush. It's so good. So there's that as well. And this bronzer is absolutely beautiful. It's a nice color. It makes you very, very warm. Actually, it's like not too warm, but if you're fair like me, you look really warm. So, yeah. Crap. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I'm getting a... Sorry, that was Adam. I called him earlier. I need him to pick something up for me on his way home. So we left off on bronzer. We're going into blush. So the blushes I always used when I first started getting into makeup. Surprise, surprise, the Wet n Wild Color Icon. So the one I'm wearing today is Pearlescent Pink. This was the very first one I ever purchased, so I figured it was fitting to use it today. You know, when I first started this makeup journey, I watched so many beginner, user-friendly, well, not user-friendly, but beginner makeup stash kind of thing, like beginner's makeup bag kind of thing. And everyone that I watched absolutely 100% recommended these blushes. The only thing with these blushes is you have to be careful. They're really, 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 really pigmented. So you can easily go overboard. So I would recommend having a brush kind of like the EcoTools blending and bronzing brush to actually go in and help blend it out. That's what I did this morning. I almost always go overboard with my blush, and I always have to go in and blend it out. You see this brush on an almost daily basis from me. So the very, very first highlighter I got, again, I'm wearing it today. It's another product that the company called a bronzer, but there's no way it's a bronzer. And it is the Hard Candy Tiki bronzer. This, again, was a cult classic on YouTube when I was first getting into makeup. And, you know, highlighters were a dime a dozen back then. If you wanted a highlighter, you either got the Tiki bronzer from the drugstore, or you spent like $50 on a highlighter from Sephora. And again, didn't really have $50, so I tried this out and I absolutely love it. I actually wore this on my wedding day. It just gives you a nice like glow from within look, and I absolutely love that. That's why I wore it on my wedding day. But I absolutely, absolutely love that. So, eyeshadow primer. The only one I used at that point was the e.l.f. eyelid primer in the shade Sheer. And I got backups upon backups upon backups of these. It is a really good one. It's in my project pan right now. Excuse me. But it's a really good one. I remember Brienne Barbie was using it all the time. And she was the one that was like, it's just as good as any other one. And that's why I went and got the eyelid primer from e.l.f. I really, really like it. I think it does a really good job of not making my shadows crease or anything. And I think it used to be $1, now it's $2. That's still so cheap. Because even, let's see, I have the Wet n Wild one, and I also have it in the Fergie packaging too. Mostly because I wanted to see if they were different. And these are still like $3-4. So $1, now $2, that's awesome. So absolutely love that eyeshadow primer. Now going into the eyeshadows that I used. So the ones that everyone recommended were the Wet n Wild Color Icon Trios and the Comfort Zone palette. So the trios I have Walking on Eggshells, which is one of the most popular ones. Absolutely gorgeous. It just has like a nice milky brow bone, a brown crease color, and then a really nice eyelid color. I have Sweet as Candy, again, milky brow bone, nice crease color, and like a pinky lid color. And then I also have Silent Treatment, which I haven't used at all, but it's really kind of neat as well. And then everybody and their mother knows the Comfort Zone palette. You have a whole side of neutrals, and then you have a whole side of greens, and it does have this really cool duochrome shade. Where it's like a greeny blue. It's super pretty. Like I said, everybody knows this palette by now. The trios I want to say were like $2, and the Comfort Zone I want to say was like $5, which is really good. Now, the problem with these, if you look, or if you know Wet n Wild Color Icon shadows at all, in all of these, all of the eyeshadows are shimmer. So I needed to get a couple singles to help work with these palettes a little bit better. By the way, I did use the neutrally side today, but if you want to see a look with the green side, I'm more willing to do that. So I actually got the Wet n Wild, so I did a little bit more research, and I got the Wet n Wild single in the shade Brulee. It is a matte, like, bone shade that I use to set my eyeshadow primer. When you set your eyeshadow primer with a color like this, it just makes it so all these other shades that you're blending onto your eyes, it makes it a little easier for them to blend. That's pretty much all it does. And then I also went to Ulta. This color I got solely because of Cassey Holmes. This was like her holy grail transition shade for, I want to say, like a year. And it is the Ulta eyeshadow single in Sable. And it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful brownish color. And it's not too warm. It's not too cool. It's just like the perfect crease color. It can go with almost anything that you do. So I absolutely love this. I want to say this was like $5, which is kind of expensive considering the Wet n Wild singles are only 99 cents. But I needed something to matte in my crease. So I purchased that. Alright. So the eyeliner I always use. As you guys know, I'm not a huge liquid eyeliner person, so I don't really have one to share with you because while I have some I like, I didn't have any that are like the test of time, like I've used forever and ever and ever because I don't really use them. So I just kind of nixed that. Ooh, I almost forgot that. No sneak peeks. But I do like tight lining my upper lash line to help make my lashes look a little bit thicker. And what I like to use is the Wet n Wild On Edge Long Wearing Eye Pencil. I still have mine in the Fergie packaging, but they no longer have the collaboration with Fergie, so they do still have these, but just in their regular Wet n Wild packaging, and it's still called the On Edge Long Wear Eye Pencil. This one, like I said, is in the Fergie packaging, so it's called Midnight Girl. I'm not sure if the name is different. If it is, I'll put it up here. And it's just a super, super creamy black. Like, I'm barely touching, and look how black that is. You do have to sharpen these. But honestly, that's not that big of a deal. I want to say these were between $3 and $4. And I have this one, and I also have, where is it? No, seriously, where is it though? I also have the brown one, which is Space Cake. I do really like both of them. I just showed you the black one today because that's what I put on to darken my tight line. Mascara. So it took me a while to find a mascara that I love, but once it came out and once I use it all the time. I never not have this in my arsenal. And that is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. You guys know this is the mascara I wear to everything. It's the mascara I wore on my wedding day. It's the mascara I wear to my friends' weddings. It's the mascara I bring to Grand Assembly. It's the mascara I wear to all of my events. It is such a really good mascara. Look how long my lashes look. They're practically touching my eyebrow, which is awesome. And let me just show you the brush real quick. The brush reminds me a lot of the L'Oreal Butterfly Effect mascara because it has that like wing style. And what's nice is if you follow it completely by the directions, that's the way your lashes are going to look great. So you start off putting it on this way and then you flip it and go over it again. And that really helps space everything out and make it not look so clumpy. But you do have to wait a minute before playing around with your lashes because otherwise they will clump together. that happened to me this morning. I just used my Royal Lang Nickel Comb and Lash brush to separate it out, and it was fine. Brow gel. I've repurchased this brow gel time and time again. Again, it used to be $1, now it's $2. And it is the e.l.f. Clear Eyelash and Eyebrow Gel. It's the double-sided one. I love this. I have repurchased it. It has been in my empties multiple times. And like I said, it's only $2. You can't really go wrong with that. And the lipstick. The first lipstick I ever started out with was actually, oh shoot, which one did I wear? This one. I actually did not really like, so I can't really consider it a test of time. So the first ones I actually really liked. I wish I could remember who recommended them, but I really can't. But it's these CoverGirl Outlast liquid lipstick things. It comes in a duo like this. So it comes with the color, and then it comes with a balm over it. So you put on the color, you wait for the color to dry down a little bit, to dry down completely, and then you go over it with this balm to make it comfortable and to give it a nice glossy finish. And I really like it because I love it when there's no transfer. I love things that don't transfer, and of course I just ruined that. Anyway, I love it. I love it when my lip color doesn't transfer. But I like my lips to be comfortable as well. And with some of the liquid lipsticks nowadays, that just doesn't happen. So I really like these. These are still available at the drugstore. I'm not positive the price. I will leave it up here on the screen. And yeah. So that is all. Oh, let me just mention a tool, because it's the same tool I purchase over and over again. It's my eyelash curler. I love this eyelash curler. It's the one from e.l.f. It's $1, $2, whatever the new price is. And it's the only one I ever buy. It comes with one replacement pad with it. You can go online and buy a pack of 10 for $1. But honestly, I just get a new one after I go through the second one, because it's the same price as if you were to buy the replacement pads, like the 10 pack. So that's my test of time video. What are some products that you guys have used forever and a day? My hair's already not being straight. And let me know down below what products you started out with and have lasted you to this day. I didn't even think I had so many products that did, but I really do. So yeah, if you have any product recommendations down below, please comment them. And if you like any of the products that I mentioned, please let us talk about the joys of these products, because they're wonderful. I would love you to hit the subscribe button to join our little family, and to hit the like button so that our family can keep on growing. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.